Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of E-commerce marketing chats with myself, Charles, and the main man, Jimmy. How's it going, mate?
Man, good to catch up again. Yeah, we missed last week, so yeah, it's good to touch
Yes.
base. And I nearly missed this week. Just got a message from you saying, "Hey Jimmy, where are you?" I looked at the time, like, oh my gosh. So I've just jumped on straight now and ready to chat all things e-com. What's new in the e-commerce world with you this week, man?
You hear me, Jimmy? Is it mine? Is it? I'm not sure it's my internet or yours.
Oh,
Am I
you're back,
back?
Charles. Yeah, sorry, man. You just cut out. Are you there?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I don't know
Oh,
what's going on. It's that Penang internet, that island life internet. Um, all I think I heard your question, Jimmy, which was what's new with you. So there's been a bit of a storm in the SEO world over the last week. Um, basically, I'll try and summarize it in layman's terms, but basically, Google have restricted the amount of results that um, these ranking trackers can actually scrape, as well as on their own tool, Google Search Console. So basically, when you look at Google Search Console or your rank tracker, you're going to see a lot of discrepancies in data, with a lot of the results past the first page. So the top 10 results, anything below that, you're going to get there's going to be a lot of issues going on at the moment. Um, so I don't know if you've seen that.
I think I did read about it. So I think I read something about they were stopping your ability to be able to show the top 100 results, which I think
Correct.
the rank trackers were using, and now they've restricted it to the top 10.
Exactly.
Um, so yeah, I did read about that this week actually, which I found interesting. When you say it's affecting the Search Console as well, like would you still say the Search Console, because it's a Google property, is kind of the place of truth, I guess, for
For sure,
the
but
data, or are
but
you seeing like it just mayhem everywhere?
I haven't seen too much of an issue in Search Console, but my understanding is they've dropped it from Google Search Console as well. So like it's
Okay.
from their own native software. So and especially with the rank tracking tools, I use a site called Mangles tools, and like
When you
they've
say they dropped it from their tool, Charles, like what does that mean? Does that mean
so
that you can't see the results of anything past page one, or what?
correct. Yes.
Okay.
Or if you, what I'm seeing is sometimes they're showing it, but they're just wildly inaccurate.
Hmm.
But a lot of the keywords that are outside of the top 10 are just showing up as like 100 plus. They're not even giving you any idea. They could be like result 25, they could be position 40. You just don't know. Um, so yeah, there's a real I think rank trackers like Ahrefs, SEMrush, all of these, there's a number of other trackers out there. They're all kind of scrambling to figure out like how they can actually interpret the data accurately at the moment, because this perimeter has like this being dropped by Google has caused a big issue. Um, so we don't know, and I guess it just shows the importance of getting to the first page of Google, because if you're
Yeah.
not, you can't actually accurately track what position you're at for certain keywords, certainly outside of the top 10. So, um, yeah, certainly an interesting update. And from what I'm understanding, actually, um, you're probably actually going to get more accurate data in terms of like impressions. So suggesting that actually impressions overall have just been inflated. And now with this perimeter being kind of removed, you're actually getting like more accurate data. So impressions might go down, click through rate also will go up. So it's kind of yeah, it's in some areas it's more accurate, in other areas it's not so much. And we're still trying to figure out like what the end result or impact will be of this.
How much like estimation in percentage wise, like how much um traffic-wise percentage is for your clients is coming from outside page one? Like, is it significant in terms
It
of
could,
the traffic that it generates or not?
no, no, for sure, definitely not. No, impressions for sure, because if
Yeah,
impressions
okay.
can be yeah, but clicks, no. The majority of clicks come from the top 1 to 3 positions from my experience, and they significantly drop off after even position 5. So even if you said, oh, we're ranking on page 1, if you're in position 10, you might get a few clicks for that keyword, but it might not drive much traffic at all, if any. So yeah, it just shows the importance of being in those top 1 to 3 organic positions. Or if
I'm
you're
just
paying
I'm,
like you, like your clients, pay to play in the top paid listings.
I'm just I'm just having a look at Google Search Console now. Like, if I'm looking at performance, like what am I looking at that's dropped? So if is it the average position? Like, because I'm looking at one of these keywords that says average position 11.4, which would be on page 2, right? So
Yeah.
like what data what if people are looking in their Google Search Console, like what data will have changed for them? Where will they be seeing the biggest
Well, I don't.
kind of changes?
I know if you're using a like outside third party rank tracker, you'll definitely be seeing some issues. I'm In terms of Google Search Console, I've not seen too many major changes apart from and I've not seen this personally with my clients, but certainly from the SEO community at large, it seems like impressions are certainly down across the
Okay.
board. And then that's also impacting,
Oh
average
yeah,
position.
actually, I'm just looking at the impressions now. So this particular client was averaging around 7,000 impressions a day on all the way up to September 10, and then September 13, it's down to 2,700.
Yeah,
So it's like
yeah, yeah,
it's dropped but in saying that too, the average, exactly kind of what you just said. The average click-through rate has improved,
yep.
um, and the average position, uh, the average position is like skyrocketed up. So yeah, you're right. I can see the change in data because there's literally like a huge crossover of lines in the data that I'm looking at.
Yep.
Okay, that's yeah, okay, that's interesting. But the thing that hasn't really changed, so the data that hasn't really changed is the clicks, but the impressions has plummeted and the average position has
Yep.
skyrocketed. So,
Yeah,
um, yeah, okay. No, I think you probably
that's what we're seeing across the board, from my understanding.
yeah, interesting.
Yeah, yeah, and I had seen that with one of my clients. Uh, Thankfully, a couple of the other clients that I had, they haven't been. It hasn't changed drastically. That I'm like, okay, that's made a big difference, but that's only recently just come out. This removal, so we'll see in the coming weeks and months what impact that's going to have.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I just had a look at it across multiple clients, and all of them are at the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Click-through rates, average click-through rates increased, and the clicks have basically stayed the same. Average position has skyrocketed, and impressions. This particular one I'm looking at had like daily impressions of around 120,000, and now it's down to 33,000-ish. So
yeah.
yeah,
So so
exact same data lines across like
it's
every client.
it's going to make good SEOs look even better, but bad SEOs look even worse. Because if you think about it, a good SEO is going to keep you in those top positions. Therefore, the data's going to be better. But if you're like, oh, yeah, we're ranking for all of these keywords, but they're
Yeah.
ranking outside of the top 10, then you're pretty screwed as an SEO provider. So,
Yeah, it makes
um,
sense.
yeah, it's going to be interesting. But hopefully, it will clean out some of these shady providers and let the cream rise to the top, as they say.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so I had seen it, but I hadn't seen the data impact on Search Console. But I've just had a look at multiple clients now, and I can see very clearly all of them are the same. The impressions have dropped considerably off, but the total clicks has stayed the same, which, seems strange, doesn't it? Like if you're losing 4 or 5 times the impressions that you had like the previous day, you'd expect the clicks to kind of drop off too, wouldn't you?
Well, it depends whether those impressions are coming from rankings outside of the top 10. If they're all
Yeah.
made, like if 90% of those impressions are coming from outside of top 10, then actually probably doesn't make much of a difference on clicks.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, it's going to be certainly been an interesting change as always with Google. They don't give you any press release or or update. It's just they. 1 minute it's this, the next minute is this, and everyone's kind of scrambling to figure out what's going on. So yeah, I just recently kind of set up a newsletter for some ecom founders on my email list, and that was the email today saying like, I think I put the
Oh,
subject
where
line.
is it? I'll have to sign up. I haven't even
Yeah, I
signed up
haven't
yet.
I haven't I haven't I haven't publicized it yet. So here's the first time if anyone wants to
Well,
sign up to the.
where can people sign
Well,
up? Because I
there
do
isn't
want to sign
anywhere
up.
apart from just send me your email address and I'll add you to the list. That's as manual automated as it gets at the moment. But I probably will set up a page on my website and start promoting it a bit. But there's only 11 or 12 ecom founders at the moment. Just some clients and prospects that I've spoken to in the past. But it's useful for anyone that's in ecom marketing, to be fair.
Yeah,
Although I'm taking,
perfect.
yeah. What about you, Jimmy? What's been happening in your world? What's been going on?
Oh, yeah, good question. So this week I'm exploring like affiliate marketing on one of our clients. So I'm kind of still exploring what app to use on Shopify. So there's apps like UpPromote and um, a few apps that you can use to manage the system. But yeah, I'll be able to tell you next week what we're actually using because basically what we've done is we've found an influencer that talks about pretty much all the products that this particular client sells. And this particular influencer already has like an affiliate relationship with these other businesses, but he talks about some products that he doesn't have kind of an affiliation with. So they're in his guide or whatever, but they don't have any affiliate links to it. But we actually stock those products and we'd be willing to do like an affiliate kind of arrangement with him. So that was where we kind of reached out. We're like, hey, we love what you're doing. We see you're already in the affiliate marketing space, but you're recommending these particular products where you don't have like an affiliate link on these products. We actually stock these, we sell these, reputable Australian business. Is there something we can work out to like get our affiliate link on these products that you're recommending? So I've got a conversation with the business owner and the potential affiliate this week. So, but I think it's something that other e-commerce businesses can implement. Like if you know someone that has your audience already and is willing to explore those opportunities, maybe potentially reaching out to them in offering an affiliate kind of an arrangement. So how the affiliate arrangements work for people that aren't aware is you can create like custom links for people to send traffic to your store, and if that traffic converts, then that person that sent the traffic to your store would typically get a percentage commission of the sale. Or some people they give like affiliates like their own discount link, and based on how many people use that link they give that influencer like a percentage of the sales for people that have used that discount link. I'm not as big on the discount links, one because some like unless you have a really good relationship with the influencer that's doing those promotions, a lot of those promotional codes that get sent out get added to coupon sites basically. So the affiliate wouldn't be promoting your product; they'd just be posting it on all these coupon sites, and then that network sends, hey, you can save like 10% using this code. So they're not actually bringing in any new customers; they're just basically putting your code all over coupon sites, which is typically has people that were going to buy from you anyway, that but are just looking for a discount. So they're not actually bringing in the new traffic. They're just capitalizing on people that are looking for a discount, basically. So yeah, if you are going down that road, just be aware of that. Um, but yeah, so kind of exploring the affiliate side. I typically stick to Google Ads, that's my lane, but I do like experimenting with these other nuances, especially for this one client where I do more than just the Google Ads. But yeah, other things for me this week, just like a lot of Google Ads coaching. I'm doing like a significant amount of coaching at the moment. I'm enjoying it, but I also got some ideas for like content creation coming up because I'm just seeing accounts and accounts and account again where people are just having the same issues, or they don't know where to go when they're stuck at a certain point, or to fixing issues on the merchant center seems to be a big one. 'Cause sometimes I have a conversation like, Jimmy, I've been trying to fix this problem for like 2 months uh, in the merchant center, and I take one look at it. I was like, oh yeah, you've just got to change the shipping rate on this. Go in there and do it. 2 seconds later, the product's approved. They're like, what? I've like spent months trying to get this product, but I mean, that's why you're paying like freelancers with experience. Like
Yep.
there's not much on the Google Ads platform that I wouldn't have seen before. In terms of being able to fix something that's wrong. Yeah, it's like the merchant center, I'm in there every single day. So if there's something wrong, I'm going to be able to fix that pretty quickly. Actually, another interesting one this week. Someone was working on their Google Ads account, and they're like, Jimmy, I can't see my search ads anywhere. Like I've been trying to troubleshoot it on the internet. I've been trying to edit my ads, but I can't even see them in my account. I've like looked at the Reddit forums. I've like asked ChatGPT, and like I can't get it to it on my account. I can't see what you're seeing on your screen. And the first thing I said to him was like, "Are you using an ad blocker?" And he's like, "Yeah, why?" I'm like, "The ad blocker actually blocks the ads within the Google Ads platform, like that you're trying to create them on. So if you have the ad blocker on, you actually can't see your search ads or edit them." And I said, "Oh, go incognito or turn your ad blocker off," and he did it, and his ads popped up. So I mean, something that he'd been looking to solve for a week because he couldn't edit his ads. Like it's happened to me countless times too, and I just noticed it was the ad blocker and turned it off. But it's just when you've been in the space for a long time, like this is just the experience that clients are paying for. Like to say it, like I can solve the majority of problems that I see across Google Ads in the space of a couple of minutes, where it would take a business owner or a marketing manager sometimes weeks, months even, to
Yep.
try to figure out what's actually going on or what's happening.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's, one of the biggest differences why, it's quite interesting actually. So the last week I've been scrolling through some of the subreddits, and one of the questions, and this is more kind of SEO related, but talking about the costs and how, like, why is it that like this SEO agency or freelancer charges, thousands of dollars a month, but this charges, a couple of hundred. And, it's the experience at the end of the day. Like you can look at something from the Google Ads perspective and within probably 5 to 10 minutes be able to figure out a solution that would have taken someone, like you said, days, weeks, months. Or worse, they'd hired someone who gave them the wrong answer and they're actually losing money now because the strategy that that person's executed is completely wrong because they're inexperienced and they don't, they haven't gone through those trials and tribulations to become a better expert. So yeah, I think, anyone listening in and they're thinking, oh, that's, when they're kind of assessing pricing, you've got to look at actually the quality of that specialist or that agency rather than, oh, it's going to cost me this amount. Like, yeah, you need to look at that, and then obviously what's the ROI going to be of hiring someone. um
I saw an account today on Google Ads. I was coaching and I said, "Oh, did you set these up yourself? They're actually done quite well." It's like, "No, I paid a freelancer they just charged me for the initial setup and then 1 month kind of overview just to make sure it was all good. I'm like, it's actually for these smaller tier clients, it's like this is actually like the campaign's doing really well. It's just a super basic setup, but it was just set up well. Like all the settings and everything was in place. They had the campaigns that I would have set up for kind of initial starting point. I think like it's not something that I offer, but I think for businesses that don't want to pay a monthly retainer, and that aren't spending, like if you're not spending more than $5,000 a month on like Google Ads, I think a service like that is could be really valuable. I'm actually thinking I don't offer it, but I'm actually thinking about it for like those lower tier kind of customers. Like, hey, I know you don't want this monthly retainer fee. Like, if you're only going to spend this much, I'll just set up your account to a point where you're not going to be bleeding money, and I'll do the first month management for you, and it would just be like a setup fee and like um, and a month management to set it off. And I think a lot of businesses it would actually work well for. The businesses that I don't think it's going to work well for is the ones that are going to be spending probably over five to $10,000 a month on ads. I think you really need that ongoing optimization, and you're always looking for new angles and the if when you're spending that kind of money, if there's something wrong in there, like it starts to add up quickly. But yeah, I think it's something that I've been thinking about a lot. Mainly because I watch a lot of podcasts on my own too, and I always remember this. I think the guy's name was Matthew Larson. I have to look it up, but I think he was from a company called 1000x Leads, but he just laid out something like very clearly, like when people come to you, if you've just got one set offer and they don't meet that offer and you don't have anything else for them, then you've probably lost that client forever, which I think about a lot. So how I'm looking to fill that gap on the marketing side is, if someone's not spending, at least $5,000 a month, maybe I can have a course that they can go to and like get them like so they can do it yourself and get to a certain point before they even look to hire an agency, or maybe I have that lower tier offer where I just do the setup in 1 month and let it go for them, and might not ever hear from them again, but like at least we've done some good work together, if that makes sense, rather than me just saying no, it's not a good fit and kind of never having done any kind of good work with them before. So something that I'm looking to implement in my own business, but I also think that there's that opportunity in e-commerce too. One, people, I saw it this week in advertising. What people don't realize is when they're looking at their products, in their mind, they're looking at the product price, right? And if the product price is like under $25, they're like, oh, I don't want to advertise this. It's too cheap. I'm not going to like make any money on the back end. This one particular product that we were looking at, it was a cheap product. It was like a $20 product, but it had about 100 conversions. So if you think $20 product, 100 conversions, what's that, like $2,000 in revenue? But that wasn't the case. They had 100 conversions and the revenue was closer to like $10,000. So they were coming in from this cheaper product, but that wasn't the only product that they were buying when they got to the site. So, and this is what some business call like lead losses. This one wasn't a lead losser because it was actually profitable, but some people, if you've got a subscription model, for example, you have like a really cheap product up front, and sometimes you even lose money on the first subscription. But if you can get them onto that subscription model and you know the lifetime value of your customer and how like what the churn rate is, how many months you can expect them to stay, you can work your profit margins out from there. So you might lose money potentially on the first purchase, but if on average they stay like for 6 to 7 months on the subscription, you might make all your money back on the back end. So there's e-commerce, it definitely isn't as straightforward as like just make money on the front end, especially with the rising competition at the moment. But I think we spoke about it a bit last week. I think that's why the omni-channel marketing presence is so important. Because if you're paying to send all this traffic from Google, like it's so important to have like an email capture there too. So you might be capturing 10% of the traffic on email, and then that gives you an opportunity to remarket to that audience through email marketing, whereas your Google Ads might be converting at 3%. So if you're sending 100 people from Google Ads, 3 might purchase, but then you're also picking up another 10 on your email list with that in place. And then if you've got push notifications too, you might be converting at push notifications at like 6%. So all of a sudden you've sent 100 people to your site, you converted 3% up front on Google Ads, you've got another 10% of that audience on your email list, you've got another 5 or 6% of that audience on your push notifications, and you can start to see how quickly it starts compounding when you've got multiple marketing channels at play.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah, and like I said, I think sometimes it can be easy just to focus on one, but really it also depends on your budget. Like, if you're only putting a small amount into ads, it's not going to move the needle enough to grow. So you need to start, introducing other things into the mix, whether it's email, push notifications, starting with your SEO campaign. I know that SEO, it does take time to see results, but if you can start, I always say it's better to start now than it is wait 12 months and then gets delayed again and again and again. The amount of conversations that I have with potential clients, and they're like, yeah, we probably should have started SEO like
Mhm.
4 or 5 years ago. Like we're so reliant on ads. Well, you know they've yeah, here's what it is. But important, as you mentioned, to be more omnipresent, especially as the rising cost of ads and more competition in different spaces.
I think I spoke to like an e-commerce student this week too, and they had like they had so many like high quality people on their blog, like people that if I spoke about on this show, like most people would know them, like household names almost. But their blog is just one page, and it's just like article after article on the one page. I was like, oh my gosh, like make this up into like its own article and write about it here. One, the name, just the authority of the name of this person that you interviewed, and about their product and authority. Like, you need to be breaking out your blog posts like that because it's like I know firsthand. I've seen how much one blog post around like an influential person can explode an e-commerce's store's organic traffic. And I think I showed you those numbers on one of my clients too, Charles. We basically wrote an article about one influencer, and it's getting like 20 times more traffic than the actual brand name itself. And more importantly, it's driving sales too. So
Yeah.
I think that's the important thing from a blog side. You don't want to be pumping in all this blog content and just generating traffic if it's never going to generate sales. Um,
Yeah.
whereas, and I can give you an example. So, I worked with like a kind of a jewelry company for a little while, and they had written a blog post, and it was getting all this traffic, irrelevant traffic from like a baseball bracelet that wasn't even relevant to their brand, but their organic traffic spiked like through the roof. And they're like, oh, this is great. We're doing really good on organic. But all these people were coming to this page looking for something that, one, they didn't offer, and two, that they weren't even talking about. The name of the product was just similar to what these people were searching for. So yeah, their organic traffic like spiked overnight, but the traffic was just irrelevant. It wasn't driving any sales or anything. So while your organic traffic may be looking to grow, it's not helping your business at all. And this is what I say to people, like, don't write blog posts just for the sake of traffic. You need to be thinking longer, and you need to be writing blog posts, moving people closer towards purchase. So, and that's how I feel about it anyway. I don't know how you feel about it from an SEO perspective, Charles, but from like a direct, I come from a very direct marketing approach. And if I'm spending the time on a blog post, I want to make sure people are buying products from it.
Yeah, for sure. I think you've got to be writing about topics that your potential customers are interested in, and it should be topics where you can naturally link to your collection or product pages. If
I
not,
agree.
then it's not really having the necessary impact. I mean, you do have some indirect impact with like I've seen, when you are posting regularly on your blog, it can naturally improve and boost the rankings of some of your, what I call your money pages. So your homepage, collection, product pages, even if sometimes those are not interlinked. But I would also always suggest if you can naturally link through to your products and collection pages, because that's going to pass that kind of link juice and authority through to those pages and get them ranking higher. So, um, yeah, I totally agree. Like writing content for the sake of writing content is completely pointless if the end goal is to drive more sales. um, there's ways to do it. Obviously, it can help build your authority, but the topics that you're writing about should be topics that, like you said, are related or your target audience actually have an interest in. If not, then what's the point? Like
Yeah, I agree.
you're just going to get people reading it and bouncing off the page.
And like this is where the omni-channel marketing comes in too. Like you want to write blog posts that you'd feel comfortable sending out to your entire audience via email. Um, because they can interplay there, and then you're not necessarily sending out just sales emails, you're sending out informational emails that are actually helping your audience. So that would be one of the things that I would think about too. One, is this going to drive any traffic to my products or convert into sales? Or two, can I actually use this blog post um, and put a blurb in an email about it and drive people to the website to read more about this topic that they'd be interested in? And if the answer to the second one is no, then I'd say it's probably not worth writing. Like if you can't even send that blog post to your entire email marketing list, then it's not relevant. If it was relevant, you'd feel confident in being able to email it to your entire audience.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Jimmy, give me 2 seconds. I am absolutely sweating in a sauna here. My missus has got food on in the background. I've got no air conditioning, and I feel like
Yeah, no
my
problems.
I'll let you. I'll switch the camera off for a minute, guys, and I'll let Jimmy carry on so I can get myself sorted. 2 seconds, and I'll come back. I got some good info in terms of structuring content for blogs, so I'll be back in a minute.
Charles is gone. I'll just talk to you about something else that has kind of popped up a little bit for me this week, and it's on the Google Ads side as well, and it's about people showing up on competitor brand names. I think a lot of people at the moment are Googling their own brand on Google, and competitors' names are showing up in the ad format. And they're like, oh, my competitor's bidding on my brand name. How do I stop it? What do I do? And then, I say with how Performance Max is working at the moment, they're probably not even intentionally trying to bid on your brand name. Google's just finding the relevance in that brand and what their brand offers, and it's kind of seen as relevant to the person searching. So if you actually went into your Performance Max campaign and had a look at the search terms, I can almost guarantee that you'll find one or two of your competitors in that search term report based on um, you've shown up at some point on their brand name. So I I would say if you are running Google Ads, like don't get too hooked up on whether competitors are showing up on your brand names searches or not. What you want to do is create a standard search campaign, a branded campaign around your brand name, and make sure you're at least protecting it. But yeah, there's no point getting all hooked up on, hey, this person's showing up when I type in my brand name on Google. The thing that you maybe rightfully can get annoyed about is if they're using your brand name in their ad copy. But if you've got a trademark on that brand name, then you can submit that with Google anyway to stop people actually putting that brand name in your ad copy. So that's a whole different conversation. But just say, for example, a really random example, let's just say someone's typing in Nike shorts and the top ad is Adidas shorts. Like Adidas is obviously in a very similar market to Nike. They may not be intentionally bidding on Nike's brand name, but Google's seen relevance in the products that Adidas offer compared to Nike, and they're showing up there in the search ads. Whether Adidas has created a dedicated campaign or not to target Nike is a completely different story. And I think on the client side, I'm like, hey, let's not get all hooked up on what your competitors are doing. We need to concentrate on where we're going and what we're doing. If they are, and to be honest, I run I run competitor campaigns sometimes. They're a good strategy for scaling, but what you don't do is you don't put that brand name in your ad copy, especially if it's trademarked. You can get yourself in trouble if you're doing that. But yeah, Charles, I hope you're cooled down a bit, mate, and you
Oh,
wanted to talk about some blog post structures.
yeah. Yeah, I felt like I was in a sauna. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, so I've been focusing recently on trying to structure blog content more for LLM visibility. So
People
kind of
that don't know
work,
what LLM is, it's kind of the AI search engine.
yeah,
So, uh,
large language model, yeah, ChatGPT, mate, ChatGPT, Perplexity, these fall under LLM um, technology and models. So yeah, I've been focusing on that and kind of switching up how we're kind of structuring blog content for my clients. So typically we'll start with like a quick summary, and we're finding that that works quite well. And then we start into going into an introduction, or potentially we'll include like a supporting video if it's relevant. And we're finding things like adding in certain elements. So like adding like a pros and cons. Say we're talking about a series of different products and we're comparing them. We will do like a pros and cons table. We're adding like an FAQ. These are all kind of different chunks of content which these LLMs and even Google themselves, they like, and it gives you a much better chance of actually ranking that content. Especially now that, like, you know, anyone can just write content, written content with AI, the actual UX and the design, there needs to be extra attention there, because if you do decide to use AI content, you can't just write me an article about X, Y, and Z and then publish it on your site and expect it that it's going to perform. It's just not the case. So, even when we are using AI for creating content, I'm probably spending anywhere from kind of 2 to 3 hours per blog post. Um, you know, editing it, working with my developer and designer to make sure the layout is correct. We're not just publishing it on the page. So yeah, just a couple of things that I'm kind of looking at in terms of content structure, really. Because not only am I finding that it's ranking well on Google, but you know, basing on what I'm seeing with LLM best practices, that seems to be the approach that people are taking.
yeah, no, it makes sense, and I think like even some of it's just common sense. I mean, like when I'm kind of writing a blog, like if you've got all the media rich snippets in there, images, like pros and cons, that kind of stuff, I've always found that they've always ranked better anyway. But now AI is kind of amplifying that because it's actually crawling those pages and using it as a reference point almost in some of their answers. So yeah, do you have that layout available to anyone, Charles, that they can check out? Like, do you have it documented or not?
I do have no, I don't have that specific guide. I don't think, probably something I should put together. I do have a guide on how to write optimize blog content using AI without getting penalized, which is something that I can add in I can put that in the show notes, or just if anyone wants it, just drop me a DM on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll shoot that over to people. Um, but yeah, it's one of the other things. Actually, I was reviewing a client of mine who I was doing really for some initial consultancy for. So basically, I gave them the strategy, but they're obviously implementing things. And one thing they did was they create the content with their AI, but they just kind of posted it on the website and then posted like 4 articles all on the same day. Using AI, like you got to structure out your content. You don't want to post 10 articles on one day and then don't post for the rest of the month. Like if you get, I'd rather you post 2 or 3 a week, or one a week minimum, ideally, so it looks a bit more natural.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's these are just little things that you kind of learn on the way as an SEO, what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too. I think early on, there was people using AI to post in absolute bulk. I'm talking like maybe hundreds of articles a day. And I think some people started to follow suit because they saw the results and, the traffic was starting to skyrocket. But now you send an update on a lot of the blogs that did that early on and they had a traffic increase, and now it's like they've just been penalized and pretty much been wiped off Google. So, um, yeah, it's sometimes in the SEO space there's like this fast gratification, like, oh, we're getting extra traffic. Wonder if this is sustainable. But the problem is that you got to always think about, hey, is this valuable to our customer, um, and two, is it valuable to other people? If basically Google's looking at it and thinking, hey, we're sending traffic to this particular page, is it valuable to the people that we're sending there? And if it's not, you're not going to last very long. You may get a boost in traffic temporarily, but yeah, if kind of the quality isn't there, or um, those ranking signals there about like time on page and scroll depth and all those wonderful things that Google like to use to rank pages isn't there, then you're not going to last long. So yeah, you want your business to be around for a long time, so do things ethically, do them well, and yeah, try to build value for your audience. Always try to build value for your audience.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, actually, to be honest with you, the biggest issue I see with brands that do it themselves when it comes to kind of writing blog content is it's not that they're even getting any traffic. It's that
Mm.
they're not ranking at all, or if they
Yeah,
are, they're
it's true.
ranking on. So like they're not even getting any data to get an idea of whether that traffic is any good or not. So I think a lot of brands are told you need to write blogs for SEO, but they don't. One, they don't know why. They're not ever told why, and two, there's never the overarching SEO strategy behind it, so it's never going to go anywhere. Like
Yeah,
if you're just
that's
creating
so true.
content without a keyword strategy, without understanding now that also you need to start answering questions as well to show up, in Google AI overviews or LLMs like ChatGPT, it's pointless.
It's so
Um,
true. And I had this conversation this week, and like even one of my clients wrote like all these blog posts, and I read like a couple of them, and the first thing I thought when I read them is, oh, this is never going to rank. But in their mind, they've done exactly what they're asked to. They wrote blog articles around this thing. So there's a real art in also understanding what's to write about. And I think if you are an e-commerce business and you can get some consultation on what to actually write if you're doing blog posts, I think that's like a massively valuable service in itself. Um, and for example, like I'm just looking at some blog posts now for one of my clients. So one of the blog posts that I wrote is getting over the last 3 months, it's had about 2,000 clicks. The four blog posts that the business owner wrote combined have had one click. So, um, I mean, I probably spent as much time on the one article that they did on the four, to be fair. But you can see time and value in one blog post versus rush ChatGPT content in the four. So, um, yeah, it's just I don't know how you feel about word limits, Charles, but I'm thinking like if you're writing a blog post for ecom, I think it needs to be at least 800 words with media snippets in it. So I don't know how you feel about that, but everything that I've written that is around that mark or more seems to have done well if it's quality content.
Yeah, I mean, a while back, Google almost clamped down on like really, really long form content because people realize, oh, let's just create, thousands and thousands of words, and a lot of it was fluff. So they've kind of refined their algorithm. But I do agree. Like an article is too short, then you're not really getting the quality and detail you need about that particular topic or subtopic. So I don't really look at it as in terms of a word count, but certainly I'm factoring that in. Like I'm like, okay, is this a yeah, like probably myself and you, Jimmy, as well. We know what a good piece of content looks like because we've been doing this long enough to know, okay, is this, does anyone actually want to read this? And is it structured in a way where it's engaging and it's most likely to rank on Google? So yeah, work out there is, yeah, I do look at it to some degree, but it's not the primary thing that I'm looking at, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. I think from where I'm coming at it, like that business owner that write their own blog posts, they were probably like 300 words each.
Yeah, not
Just
enough.
like,
Not enough.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think if you tell yourself, okay, I have to make it at least 800, it's making you think about additional things that you can add. Like I'm like, oh, what else can I write? Oh, maybe I can add some pros and cons in this, and maybe I can add like some frequently asked questions around this topic too, and answer those in this blog post. So I think if you're aiming for like a minimum of 800, it helps you explore other areas that you might not have if you were just putting out a 300 word article, and it makes the article more valuable as long as exactly what you said, Charles, as long as it's just not fluff to fill out a word count, but actually valuable content blocks around that topic. I think it can only help.
Yeah, for sure. And I go back to it. Structure, the design, UX is equally as important because you could have one page that say got 1,000 words on the page or 1,500 words on the page, and it's just a load of text.
A
There's
block of
no
text, yeah.
there's a whole block of text, even with the FAQs. Or you could have another page that's got, smaller paragraphs. You've got images that are related to each paragraph. You've got an FAQ section, which is at the bottom in a nice kind of Orcadian style format. You might even have a supporting video. These are all things to kind of improve the piece of content, the readability, break up the text. So people actually want to consume it. If you just see a whole block of text, you're gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
forget this. Like, it's just, yeah, you're gonna click straight off the page. So, um, how the quality of content is important, but equally how you actually present it is just as important.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'd almost argue more so important.
Yeah, yeah,
Like if it looks good, you're probably gonna. Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of attracted to content that's easily readable. So I think formatting is, yeah, massive.
yep,
Getting that part of it right. But yeah, I think yeah, if you can write high quality blog posts, do it. To be honest, I don't think it's something that people should be rushing to do before Black Friday because I don't think they're going to see the results from it. I think there's other low hanging fruit that you can capitalize on before then, namely sorting out your email marketing, getting your push notifications in order, like something that those things that you can get high leverage on is what you want to focus on coming into Black Friday. And I think December time, when you stop guaranteeing shipping before Christmas and things start to go a little bit more quiet, this is where you're like, okay, we want to hit next year running. Let's work on our blog strategy and let's plan out the year of blogs, what it will potentially look like, how we can attack 2026 from an organic point of view, and also with in the back of your mind making sure that it's ranking in the AI search consoles too. So I think, yeah, in terms of priorities, SEO is massively important. I don't think it's going to bring enough leverage for Black Friday, which is where people should be focusing at the moment. So I think for Black Friday, potentially even those influencer partnerships, if you can get some of those before Black Friday and like get your partnerships to promote the brand over Black Friday. If you're having a sale, getting those influencers to promote the brand over those sales, that can be like a really high leverage, high return activity. So I would be focusing on your email marketing. I'd be focusing on push notifications. I'd be focusing on getting your audience in front of or sorry, getting your brand in front of an audience that's wanting your products already. And to do that, you can reach out to influencers or content creators or something in that regard. But I think, yeah, coming into Black Friday, look for those high leverage activities. And then I think December is where I typically start looking at those longer term strategies for brands. Like, okay, what do we want to do next year? How are we going to attack it?
Yeah, no, completely agree. I think that's definitely the best approach. Um, I would say though, if you do have time, I know like you talked about, like I said, focusing on SEO after Black Friday. Um, One thing that I would advise doing is setting up a dedicated Black Friday sales page. And the reason I say that is because I've got first-hand experience and I know for sure it works really well. So it's something that I did with a client of mine. Basically, last year we set one up before Black Friday. And then after the sale, we kept that page live, but we just converted it to like, Black Friday has ended with an email sign up to sign up for kind of future exclusive sales. And now that page this year is ranking for all the top Black Friday keywords in position 1 and 2 and some in 3. So like they're now prime ready. And that was a strategy that we kind of executed last year. So, sometimes it does take time, but I would say if you can get that preparation, you're going to need to set up a page anyway, whether you're switching from, an existing sales page. But I would recommend create a dedicated page for Black Friday and one for Cyber Monday. Um,
Yeah, I think
and
I
that,
think that's a good call if you're going to concentrate on organic, do it specifically for Black Friday, not focusing on your evergreen blog content right before Black Friday. I think
yeah,
that's a
no,
good
yeah,
call.
for sure.
And
Yeah.
and actually, yeah, I think I need to the client that I do more than Google Ads for, I think I actually need to now that you've mentioned it, it's like actually we could probably do with a Black Friday page ourselves this year. So
Yep. Yeah.
yeah, it's a good shout. So yeah, I think that's like a high leverage activity though. So
Yep.
mainly because like for example around Black Friday, how would you structure it, Charles? Because I know like not necessarily people searching for your brand name and Black Friday sales. I think people are more searching for the category Black Friday sales. Like, for
That's
example, if the business is in, let's just say, like the beauty niche, when people are going for Black Friday, so they're like, oh, what Black Friday sales are happening in like the beauty niche or the makeup niche or the niche specific. I don't think like sometimes like if people are looking up a brand name Black Friday sales, I feel like they would just go to the website. Whereas if they're going to Google, they're probably looking for like what businesses are actually offering Black Friday sales for a particular product that they're interested in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think probably the one thing that I didn't mention is you've got to have the correct keyword strategy behind it. So you're right. If you're just setting up a Black Friday page and you're not doing keyword research to establish what is the main keyword that you want to target for that page, it's not really going to have the impact. And typically in every industry, there is a keyword phrase which is getting searched for. So like for example, one of my clients, they sell parts of a particular branded truck. So when I did the research, it's got like the name of the truck, Black Friday deals, and like variations of that. And also probably going to create sub page. And this is for more larger scale sites. We're going to be creating sub Black Friday pages for each of the brands that they sell as well, because there's search volume on those as well in those
Okay,
keywords. So
interesting. Yeah.
That this is a bit more of a complex strategy, or not complex, but just more workload because it's more for kind of large skew sites. But if you're a kind of smaller retailer, have your one main Black Friday page and do some keyword research to establish what is that kind of main keyword phrase that you want to target, and make sure that that's in your page title and your meta description particularly.
Yeah, like for example, just I don't know, random crazy examples. Say your business sells, I don't know, ice creams. And let's just say your business is called Happy Ice Creams or something. Don't just create a page that says Happy Ice Creams Black Friday sales. What you'd want to do is, if people are searching for, like ice cream sale Black Friday deals, or
Yeah.
people are looking for the actual product for around Black Friday. They're not necessarily looking for your brand. They could be, but your brand's going to show up. Your brand's going to show up anyway, if they put your brand name in there. So if someone searches for like Happy Ice Creams Black Friday deals, Happy Ice Creams is going to show up number one anyway. Whereas the place where you want to get to is people that are looking for the category that aren't already aware of your brand name. That's where you really want to kind of capitalize, because one, you can introduce your brand name, and you can also present them a sale for Black Friday, exactly what they're looking for. So yeah, there's a couple of little nuances there you can use to leverage that. So yeah, actually, I'm gonna add that to my ever-growing list of things that I need to do. But yeah, it's a good thing. So if you are going to leverage something from Charles's side, the SEO space, yeah, do the Black Friday page, set up your push notifications if you don't have push notifications active already. Like set them up tomorrow. It's free, it's easy. Download Push Owl, install it, and start collecting emails, because then when Black Friday runs around, you'll have a list that you can send out notifications to. And then email marketing, make sure you've got your flows set up, and make sure you have a campaign strategy built around Black Friday. And your campaign strategy can't be sending out one sales email on the day of Black Friday. It's not a strategy. It's just one email going out. So we might talk about email marketing strategy, or actually, let's reach out and try find an email marketing specialist to see if we can get them on and talk about Black Friday email campaigns, because I think that
Yeah,
would
that'd be good.
be
That'd be really good. Yeah.
a good lead up. So I'll reach out to someone in my network, see if I can find anyone that's willing to come on and have a chat, and yeah, we can go from there.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
I think
Guess
we're
what?
um I think we're almost at the hour, guys, and Charles is in a little hot box and got a romantic dinner lined up for tonight, so I won't keep him up.
Oh,
um,
well, not. It's a quick. It's going to be a quick dinner, and then I've got a client call actually after. So yeah, usually we go for a Tuesday paella night, but down at the restaurant downstairs. But yeah, not tonight. Not tonight.
And
Good
yeah,
stuff.
if you're looking to follow us more, check us out, Shopify Marketing Secrets on Facebook, or E-commerce Marketing Chats on YouTube. And I think we're
Yeah,
on. Did you say
we're on
we're on Spotify now too, Charles? So is
Spotify
that
and
is that
yes,
under E-commerce Marketing Chats as well?
correct. Yeah, we're on
There you
Spotify
go.
and Apple Podcast as well. So we're finally, after God knows how many episodes, we're finally on all the main podcast platforms, which is great. So yeah, if you prefer to listen to us rather than look at us, then then you can go check us out over there.
I wouldn't blame them, to be
No,
honest.
no, nor would I, mate. Nor would I.
All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll be back next Tuesday for all things e-commerce. Take care.